this here. I'm gonna put this just right, I don't even know how I'm gonna do this, right there, maybe. I don't have my normal car. And so here we are, driving. I'll just do it like this as I look on the road. So, gotta be patient, First off, I wanna give a good old shout out to Rusty and his beautiful bride, Gwen, for just closing their first deal. What's up, Bootstrappers? That's how it's done. So great job, guys. They found a deal. They're a good, perfect partnership. You know, if I ever had a partnership, I do have a partnership, but if I were to, you know, my wife were to actually do this business, I'd have it just the way that they're doing it. You know, one finds the deals, the other person talks to the person, and they just, you know, they work that synergy in that relationship, and they make things happen. So right on, guys. Congratulations on getting your first deal closed. They actually already had funded, or excuse me, they closed one deal already, but this is their first one that's actually funded, where they've made some money on it. We collected $15,000 down on this property today, and that's what this is all about being patient. So they brought me in on this one, and I decided to drive down because I had negotiated a $25,000 down payment. I'm like, for sure, it's going to happen. So I rented a car. My wife just got off, you know, she just got home from the hospital, and I'm like, honey, I know you've only been home less than like 25 minutes, but bye. See ya, I'm taking off here. Actually, she got home on Saturday, and I left on Sunday. But I took my two younger kids with me, and we're driving down, and the dude decides to cancel. He's like, oh, you know, I'm just not going to do this. I don't feel comfortable with this because the interest rate was just too high. And it's the craziest thing. And this is like a brand new market for me, and I've never had this in any of the markets ever, where someone's like, oh, that interest rate's too high, I'm not going to buy from you. I'm like, if you have a problem with the interest rate, go get a loan from your bank. Oh wait, you can't. That's why you're looking at a rent-to-buy options or rent-to-own options, and it kind of floors me. But anyway, it's like, you know, I sell, and I had to start putting this into my ad, that I sell monthly payments. I don't sell interest rates. I can't control what the interest rate is. I mean, I can to an extent, but I can't give this guy one like 4.5% interest rate. I'm like, 4.5%, dude? Go to your bank. He's like, but I'm putting down $20,000. I'm like, yeah, and I dropped your payment down from $950 to like almost $700. So I can drop payments, but I can't drop interest rates with larger down payments. So anyway, I'm like, man, dude, what do I do here? And so I'm like, you know what? I just need to be patient. There's going to be a lot of different nuggets for you in this particular coaching tip right here. So the first one is just to be patient. It wasn't the right house for that guy, and that's okay. Let it come to the right person. So lesson number one, just be patient. It's the hardest thing to do in this business. Is you want to just get done fast. You need, especially when you need the money. When your back's against the wall and you need the money, it's the hardest thing to be patient. So lesson number one is just to be patient. Lesson number two, use your network. Your network is your greatest resource. I read a book a number of years ago by Tim Sanders, and the book was called Love is the Killer App. And what it was is that he said an awesome quote. He said that your net worth, how much you're worth, your money, is equivalent to your network cubed. I'm like, well, that's a lot. And he's like, the bigger your network, the more money you can make. So here we are. I'm like, okay, you know, I got this house, you know, I got to sell it. And I decided to do a Facebook Live video when I'm at the property because, you know what, no one was coming. And I did a Facebook Live video. And all of a sudden, one of the guys that I do a lot of business with up in Northern California goes, hey, you're in Porterville? My wife's my wife's daughter is looking for a house in Porterville. And I'm like, well, shoot, send her over, you know. We got a lot of interest. We got appointments later on in the afternoon. So sure enough, guess who ends up buying it? His wife's daughter. She shows up, she has the cash, she's like, let's do this. It couldn't have been any easier. It was the perfect house for the perfect family. And it just was like, man, God works in mysterious ways. And I was patient, and it all worked out. So patience and your network. And, you know, it's interesting because I had struggled with two people backing out. Not just one, but two people. They're like, oh, that interest rate's too high. I'm like, 6.8% is too high? You're buying a house for $135,000 and your monthly payment's only $722, and that's too high? I'm like, excuse me, what's, you know, one guy, I finally just straight up told him, I'm like, help me understand this. What's your, how much you paying in rent? He's like, I'm paying $1,100 in rent. I'm like, so you're telling me that you're going to continue renting for $1,100 because my interest rate's too high when you can be buying a house right now for $720? I don't get that logic. I mean, that's almost $500 a month you could be saving. And he's like, that was it, you know? So anyway, we go and we wire some money to, so this particular transaction, it was behind, and I was just going to take the down payment, and I was just going to go ahead and wire that money to myself, to the bank. And I do everything in full transparency. I told the lady that was buying the house, I said, look, this is what's going on. We're going to do this, do that. And she's like, well, because she was having a hard time pulling out 15 grand all at once. And so in talking to her, I was like, well, and she's like, do you want a cashier's check? I'm like, no, I don't want a cashier's check. There's going to be a hold on it, and I got to pay this money. And so I'm like, wait, hang on a second here. Let's just have you wire the bank directly, and then the difference you can just go ahead and cut us, cash, because she can pull up to $10,000 cash. And so that's exactly what we did. So she wired the money, and as we're sitting there in the bank, and she's waiting for the wire to go through and all this stuff, she leans over and she goes, I don't even know the purchase price of this house, and I really don't care because I love my monthly payment. My monthly payment is exactly what I want it to be. And I'm like, you're welcome. You're absolutely welcome. And her monthly payment's $775, and it completely floored me that someone was willing to walk away, and they were getting a better deal than she was. They were willing to walk away from a monthly payment of $720, I think it's like $25, like 22 and some change. And here she is, and she's getting $775, and she's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I don't even know what I'm buying it for. I don't even care. I can afford $775, and that's all I want. And honestly, like, that's why I do rent to owns, is because people can afford the monthly payment. Every once in a while I get some crazy yahoos that are like, oh, that interest rate is too high. And the funny thing about it is her interest rate is, I believe it's at 6.125. It's 6 and an eighth. I mean, when it all came down to it, when it was all said and done, her interest rate is 6.125. I mean, I mean, that's pretty darn close to, fair market value with damaged credit. I mean, if you're trying to get like a subprime mortgage out there. So 6 and an eighth. Hey, what's up, Tim? So anyway, I love the fact that it went to a great family. Oh, Daddy's talking too loud and someone's waking up here in the background. Or maybe it's my driving. Jerking all over the place like beep, beep, beep. So some good lessons there. Some very good lessons is just, some be patient, talk to your network, get out there and just share what you're doing with people because it comes back to you. And then the second one is and it kind of ties into the first, is don't lower your standards. People are going to complain and they're going to want to, discount what you're doing. It's okay. Let them do that. You're gonna come out on top in the end. And I've got my lovely kids here that are just starting to wake up. So anyway, guys, you're just one deal away from changing your entire financial future. This is the great equalizer. I don't know of any other business, any other mode of making money that can level the playing field from being rich and being destitute to having some cash come in your bank account every single month. And for Rusty and Gwen, congratulations, guys! Great job. They found this property. They got it. They found the owner. They did everything they needed to do. They brought me in on it. We tied it up with a nice little bow and sold it to a sweet little family. And they got a nice down payment, nice little payday for themselves, and they're also be collecting a little bit of money on the cash flow every single month as well. The spread is not all that great, but it's still better than nothing. It's fantastic. I'm so happy for you guys. So, all right, I'm Ryan Nickel. I'm gonna go take care of my sweet little children here. And just remember, you're one deal away from changing your entire financial future, guys. All right, Bootstrappers, I'm out.